Audio to accompany the complete guide to the Toefl test, PBT edition by
Section 1. Listening Comprehension. Sample Listening Comprehension Test. Find the directions for this test in your textbook and read along with them as they are read to you on the tape. This section tests your ability to comprehend spoken English. It is divided into 3 parts, each with its own directions. You are not permitted to turn the page during the reading of the directions or to take notes at any time.
Part A. Directions. Each item in this part consists of a brief conversation involving 2 speakers. Following each conversation, a third voice will ask a question. You will hear the conversations and questions only once, and they will not be written out. When you have heard each conversation and question, read the 4 answer choices and select the one, A, B, C, or D, that best answers the question based on what is directly stated or on what can be inferred. Then fill in the space on your answer sheet that matches the letter of the answer that you have selected. Here is an example. You will hear,
"Do you think I should leave this chair against the wall or put it somewhere else?"
Over by the window, I'd say.
"What does the woman think the man should do?" You will read, A. Open the window. B. Move the chair. C. Leave the room. D. Take a seat. From the conversation, you find out that the woman thinks the man should put the chair over by the window. The best answer to the question, "What does the woman think the man should do?" is B. Move the chair. You should fill in B on your answer sheet. Now let's begin with the first conversation. Number 1.
"I like your new bicycle, Helen."
Thanks, but it isn't new. I had my old one repainted.
What can be said about Helen's bicycle? Number 2.
Will that be cash, check, or charge?
"I'm going to write a check, but I just realized I left my checkbook in my car. I'll be right back."
What will the man probably do next? Number 3.
"I'll never be able to get through all these books on Professor Gray's reading list."
But Mark, not all of them are required.
What does the woman tell Mark? Number 4.
"Was there anything you didn't like about the novel?"
Only that it was too short.
What does the woman imply about the novel? Number 5.
"Should I fill out this form with a pen or a pencil?"
What difference does it make?
What does the woman mean? Number 6.
This new computer software is really easy to use.
"Isn't it, though?"
What does the man mean? Number 7.
You did bring the slide projector, didn't you?
I brought it, but I'm afraid it's out of order.
What is the problem with the slide projector? Number 8.
Your brother called. He wants you to meet him for dinner.
Oh, really? Did he say when?
What does the man want to know? Number 9.
Have you heard from Howard lately?
Funny you should ask. Yesterday, from out of the blue, I got a letter from him.
What does the man say about Howard? Number 10.
If you don't like this studio apartment, I can show you a one-bedroom unit up on the 3rd floor.
All right. This one just doesn't have enough room for me.
How does the man feel about the studio apartment? Number 11.
I think I deserved a higher grade in chemistry class. Does Professor Welch ever change the grades he gives?
Sure, about once a century.
What can be inferred about Professor Welch from this conversation? Number 12.
I wonder how I did on Professor Porter's test.
Oh, she's already posted the grades on her office door.
What does the man say about Professor Porter? Number 13.
I've invited some friends over to watch the game on television. I think I'll go out and get some drinks before they arrive here.
Shouldn't you get some snacks, too?
What does the woman tell the man? Number 14.
I'm going to drop my political science class. It meets too early in the morning for me.
Alan, is that really a good reason to drop the class?
What does the woman imply? Number 15.
I can hardly hear anything from back here. Let's just go home.
Why don't we ask an usher if we can sit closer to the stage?
What does the man suggest? Number 16.
William comes up with some weak excuse or another for just about every mistake he makes, doesn't he?
Wait till you hear his latest.
What do the speakers imply about William? Number 17.
What a beautiful sunset. You should photograph it, Melissa.
If I had some film in my camera, I would.
What does Melissa mean? Number 18.
We should be arriving at the airport in another 10 minutes.
Wait a second. This bus is going to the airport?
What can be inferred about the man? Number 19.
I wonder when the Board of Regents will pick a new dean of students.
Who knows? They're not even scheduled to meet until next month.
What does the woman imply? Number 20.
Are Randy and his friends still going to play cards this evening?
He's setting up the folding card table right now.
What does the woman say about Randy? Number 21.
We should never have listened to Harvey.
If only we'd asked someone else for advice.
What do they mean? Number 22.
All the people in the audience certainly seemed to enjoy the performance.
Well, almost all of them did.
What does the woman mean? Number 23.
How was your room last night?
I slept like a baby, and the rates were quite reasonable.
What are these people probably discussing?
Number 24.
Professor White? A few of us in the back of the room didn't get a copy of your syllabus.
There are 23 names on my class list, so I only brought 23 copies of the syllabus.
What can be inferred from Professor White's remark? Number 25.
We're not far from Mount Pleasant Street. There are some antique stores there that have some wonderful things, and they're fairly cheap.
They have some nice antiques, all right, but I sure wouldn't call them cheap.
What does the man mean? Number 26.
Daniel said that San Diego is a great place to go to a conference.
He should know. He's been there often enough.
What does the man say about Daniel? Number 27.
Have you ever gone for a ride with Charlie?
I sure have. He seems to think he's a race car driver, doesn't he?
What does the woman imply about Charlie? Number 28.
Try a bowl of this soup and see how you like it. It's a new brand.
I'd say it stacks up pretty well against the other kinds.
What does the man mean? Number 29.
Peter is favored to win the tennis match Saturday.
Oh, then that match wasn't canceled after all.
What had the man originally assumed? Number 30.
Adam, do you remember the tools I lent you when you were building those bookshelves last month? I'd like to have them back.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but I can't seem to lay my hands on them.
What does Adam imply?
This is the end of Part A. Go on to Part B. Now read along with the directions for Part B in your textbook as they are read to you on the tape.
Part B. Directions. This part of the test consists of extended conversations between two speakers. After each of these conversations, there are a number of questions. You will hear each conversation and question only once, and the questions are not written out. When you have heard the questions, read the 4 answer choices and select the one, A, B, C, or D, that best answers the question based on what is directly stated or on what can be inferred. Then fill in the space on your answer sheet that matches the letter of the answer that you have selected. Don't forget, during actual exams, taking notes or writing in your test book is not permitted. Now let's begin Part B with the first conversation. Questions 31 to 33. Listen to the following conversation.
Good morning, Diana. What did you want to talk to me about?
Good morning, Professor Lane. I wanted to talk to you about changing my major. You see, I've decided that when I graduate in 3 years, I'd like to work in an art museum. I think I should change my major to art history.
You know, Diana, I think you should give this decision some more thought. You've done well in your year as a business major. Besides, all organizations need good managers, whether they're private companies or nonprofit foundations like museums.
I suppose that's true, but wouldn't I still have to know a lot about art?
Why not take a few elective courses in art history and try working a few hours a week as a volunteer at the local art museum? See if you really like working there.
Number 31. What is the probable relationship between these two speakers? Number 32. When does Diana hope to begin working at a museum? Number 33. What does the man advise Diana to do? Questions 34 to 37. Listen to a conversation between two students.
Gloria, hello. You're not looking too happy. What's the matter? Have you been studying too much?
Oh, hi. No, that's not it. The problem is that I was planning to go home over spring break, but my travel agent just told me all the airlines are fully booked that week.
Why not go by car?
It's too long a trip to take by myself, and gasoline is so expensive.
Have you checked the ride board? Maybe you can get a rider to go with you.
The ride board? What's that?
It's a bulletin board that has a map of the United States on it. The map is divided into different regions, and each region has a different number. Say you want to go to New England. That would be box number 1. There are boxes for each number. You can put a white card or a blue card in one of the boxes.
What's the difference between a blue card and a white one?
Blue means you have a car and need riders to share the driving. White means that you're looking for a ride.
So I should go look at the white cards to see if anyone needs a ride to where I'm going, right?
Yeah, and fill out a blue card, too.
So where is this ride board?
It's on the second floor of the Student Union building, right by the campus cinema.
Number 34. Why does Gloria look unhappy? Number 35. According to the man, what do the numbers on the boxes at the ride board indicate? Number 36. What does Gloria hope to obtain through the ride board? Number 37. Where is the ride board?
This is the end of Part B. Go on to Part C. Now read along with the directions for Part C in your textbook as they are read to you on the tape. Part C. Directions. This part of the test consists of several talks, each given by a single speaker. After each of these talks, there are a number of questions. You will hear each talk and question only once, and the questions are not written out. When you have heard each question, read the 4 answer choices and select the one, A, B, C, or D, that best answers the question based on what is directly stated or on what can be inferred. Then fill in the space on your answer sheet that matches the letter of the answer that you have selected. Here is an example. You will hear,
Students, this evening we'll have a chance to observe a phenomenon that we've discussed several times in class. Tonight there will be a lunar eclipse. As we've said, when an eclipse of the moon occurs, the Earth passes between the sun and the moon. Therefore, the shadow of the Earth moves across the surface of the moon and obscures it. Because you won't be looking at the sun, it is not necessary to use the special lenses and filters that you need when observing a solar eclipse. You can observe a lunar eclipse with your unaided eye, or with a telescope, and photograph it with an ordinary camera. So if the weather's not cloudy tonight, go out and take a look at this eclipse of the moon. I'm sure you'll find it interesting.
Now, here is a sample question. You will hear, in what course is this lecture probably being given? You will read, A, philosophy, B, meteorology, C, astronomy, D, photography. The lecture concerns a lunar eclipse, a topic that would typically be discussed in an astronomy class. The choice that best answers the question, in what course is this lecture probably being given, is C, astronomy. You should fill in C on your answer sheet. Here is another sample question. You will hear, according to the speaker, which of the following occurs during a lunar eclipse? You will read, A, the Earth's shadow moves across the moon. B, clouds block the view of the moon. C, the moon moves between the Earth and the sun. D, the sun can be observed without special equipment. From the lecture, you learned that a lunar eclipse occurs when the Earth moves between the sun and the moon, and the shadow of the Earth passes across the moon. The choice that best answers the question, according to the speaker, which of the following occurs during a lunar eclipse, is A. The Earth's shadow moves across the moon. Don't forget, during actual exams, taking notes or writing in your test book is not permitted. Now let's begin Part C with the first talk. Questions 38 to 42. Listen to a student telling his friends about an experience he had.
I saw something rather unusual late last Sunday night. My roommate Ron and I were driving back here to the university from my parents' house. They live in a small town about 70 miles from here. We'd stopped so that I could drive. Ron was really tired. When all of a sudden the whole sky was lit up. I thought I was seeing a UFO, a real flying saucer. Ron thought maybe it was an airliner going down, or a satellite coming out of orbit. A fireball shot across the sky. It looked almost like fireworks. Then the light disappeared behind the hills. It wasn't until the next morning, when I was listening to the morning news on the radio, that I found out what had happened. Apparently, I'd seen a large meteorite. The light was caused by the heat of friction as the meteor traveled through the atmosphere. Most meteors burn up in the upper atmosphere, according to the announcer, but large ones can hit the ground. This one was unusual in that pieces of it were recovered. They landed in a parking lot about 20 miles from where we were. My mother told me that when she was young, she read a story in a magazine about a meteorite that crashed through the roof of a house and hit a woman sleeping in her bedroom and broke her leg. Anyway, it was an incredible sight, and I'm glad I was lucky enough to see it.
Number 38. What did the man initially believe he had seen? Number 39. Why had the man stopped the car? Number 40. How did the man learn what he had actually seen? Number 41. What happened to the meteor that the man had seen? Number 42. How did the man feel about what he had seen? Questions 43 to 46. Listen to a talk given by a tour guide.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bus will stop next at the Washington Monument, which honors the first president of the United States. The first stone of the monument was laid in 1848, but because of a variety of problems, work was delayed. So it was not until 1884 that the monument was completed. Imagine that. It took 36 years. And then it was another 4 years before it opened to the public. Now, if you like, you can go to the top of the monument. On the way up, you'll have to take the elevator. You can take the elevator down, too, or you can walk, if you don't mind climbing down 898 steps. The monument is made of marble, except for a tiny aluminum tip. Incidentally, before the tip was put on the monument, it was displayed around the country. Some young people jumped over the tip so that later they could truthfully claim that they'd jumped over the top of the Washington Monument. After visiting the Washington Monument, we'll be walking over to the Lincoln Memorial. Watch your step as you get off the bus, please.
Number 43. Where is this talk probably being given? Number 44. How long did it take to build the Washington Monument? Number 45. According to the speaker, what must those people who go to the top of the Washington Monument do? Number 46. According to the speaker, what did some young people do when the tip of the monument was displayed?
Questions 47 to 50. Listen to the following lecture.
Good day, class. Today we're going to continue our discussion of American music with a look at the songs of the frontier period. Nearly everyone who went west, the mountaineers, the miners, the river raftsmen, the railroad workers, had songs to accompany their work. And after work, the men and women of the frontier sang and danced to fiddle tunes or country dances. Some of these songs were new versions of old songs from Europe, while some were completely new. Some of the most popular of these songs were later used as theme songs for political campaigns. Now, we're going to listen to a few of these songs performed much as they were almost 2 centuries ago. As you listen to the recordings, notice the difference between these lively songs and the slower, more genteel music of the Eastern choral societies that we listened to in our last class.
Number 47. In what course is this lecture probably given? Number 48. What can be inferred about the songs of the frontier? Number 49. According to the speaker, how do these songs compare with the songs of Eastern choral societies? Number 50. What will the people who are listening to this lecture probably do next? This is the end of the sample listening comprehension test. Listening Comprehension, Part A, Dialogues, Exercises and Mini-Test. The directions for the exercises in this part of the book will not be read aloud on the tape. You should read the directions for each exercise and be sure that you understand them before you play the audio tape for that exercise.
There is no tape script for Exercise 1. Exercise 2.1. Number 1.
I've never had to wait so long just to pay for a few groceries.
I think you should get in another line.
What does the woman suggest the man do? Number 2.
How does your babysitting job go?
Oh, fine. The children spent most of the day going down the hill on their new sled.
What did the children do? Number 3.
Where should I put these letters for you?
Oh, just toss them in that file.
What does the woman tell the man to do with the letters? Number 4.
Did you get your suitcase packed?
Yeah, but now I can't close it.
What does the man mean? Number 5.
What kind of bread did Annie bake?
My favorite, whole wheat bread.
What is learned about Annie? Number 6.
Has Brenda finished writing her story for the radio news?
Oh, sure. She's just taping it now.
What does the man say about the story? Number 7.
Do you have Emily's address?
She has a new one. Let me see if I can find it for you.
What does the woman mean? Number 8.
How's the coffee here, Dennis?
It's a little bitter, to tell the truth.
What does Dennis say about the coffee? Number 9.
I bought a ticket for the drawing. I hope I win.
What's the prize, Ellen?
What does the man ask Ellen? Number 10.
I wonder if this old bottle I found is worth any money. It's a beautiful color.
Yes, but look, there's a chip in it.
What does the woman say about the bottle? Number 11.
I saw Jerry is walking on crutches. Did he have an accident?
His feet slipped in some oil, and he twisted his knee.
What happened to Jerry? Number 12. This is a beautiful part of the state. What's it most famous for?
Well, you'll see some remarkable racehorses here.
Why is this area well known?
Number 13.
So, did the committee finally reach a decision on that issue?
Finally, after they fought about it all afternoon.
How did the committee spend the afternoon? Number 14.
I've never seen you in that shirt before.
I don't wear it very often. It's too tight in the collar.
What is the problem with the shirt? Number 15.
Are you having a midterm exam in Professor McGuire's class?
No, he assigned a paper instead.
What did Professor McGuire do? Exercise 2.2. Number 1.
Stephanie, did you ever phone your friend?
No, but I sent her a letter.
What did Stephanie do? Number 2.
I understand that Stewart is going to resign as vice president.
As a matter of fact, he's so disappointed that he wasn't elected president, he's quitting the club.
What does the man say about Stewart? Number 3.
So you're going to take that class in ecology. What will you be studying?
Well, according to the course catalog, it's the systematic study of life on this planet.
What does the woman say about the class she is going to take? Number 4.
Are you ready to go now, Janet?
As soon as the rain stops.
What does Janet tell the man? Number 5.
I heard Darlene was having a hard time with her physics homework.
Yes, but Sam has kindly offered to assist her.
What does the woman say about Sam? Number 6.
I need to get a quick bite before we go to the workshop.
There's a coffee shop here in the hotel.
What does the man suggest the woman do? Number 7.
How can I take notes if I don't have anything to write with?
You can probably borrow a pen from Gus. He always has one behind his ear.
What does the woman say about Gus? Number 8. Was the flood bad in your part of town?
Bad. We practically needed boats to get home.
What does the woman imply? Number 9.
Terry wasn't in class Monday, I noticed.
Well, she came down with a cough this weekend, but she's feeling better now.
What does the man say about Terry? Number 10.
So, Jane, what are your duties as Professor Ramsey's assistant?
For one thing, I help him correct tests.
What does Jane help Professor Ramsey do? Number 11. Ned's apartment is so hot this summer, I don't know how he can stand it.
It's a little better now that he got a fan.
What is learned about Ned? Number 12.
Bonnie, you did look over the lease before you signed it, didn't you?
Well, I tried to, but not even a lawyer could understand this lease.
What does Bonnie mean? Exercise 3.1. Number 1.
What did you get Susie for her birthday?
Didn't you read the invitation to her party? She said she didn't want anyone to bring any presents.
2. Number 2. I've got to go back to the library after dinner.
I know you've got a lot of research to do, but don't overdo it. You're spending half your life in the library.
Number 3.
I understand you had an accident this morning.
Yes, I broke a pane in the window upstairs. Number 4.
I can't find my coat.
Well, I certainly don't know where it is.
Number 5.
You'd better pay that parking ticket you got last week.
Yeah, I would if I could find it. Number 6.
You need to fill out a change of address form.
Oh, is this the right form? Number 7.
You went to the meeting last night?
Yes, but I wish I hadn't. Was I ever bored? Number 8.
What kind of car are you looking for?
I don't care, as long as it's dependable. I can't stand a car that breaks down all the time.
Number 9. Don't you just love Andrew's boat?
It's terrific, and it's for sale, you know.
Number 10.
So, what did I tell you? Wouldn't this be a great location to build a house?
You're right. It's the perfect site. I wish I could afford to buy this lot.
Number 11.
Did you get your garden planted?
Well, I got a start. I planted a few rows of corn.
Number 12.
Shh! Talking isn't allowed in this part of the library.
Oh, it's okay to talk in this part. Exercise 3.2. Number 1.
Where have you been keeping yourself, Ben? I haven't seen you since January at least.
I've had this terrible cold, and I haven't gotten out much. Number 2.
What a kind person Glenn is.
Isn't he, though?
Number 3.
Will it be cold in the mountains?
I'd bring a light sweater if I were you. It may get a little chilly at night.
Number 4. Is this where the aeronautics exhibit is going to be?
No, it'll be in the north wing of the museum.
Number 5.
Where did you get these statistics?
In the tables at the back of this book.
Number 6.
I'm going to paint these old wooden chairs white. They'll look good as new.
You'd better take off that old coat of red first. Number 7.
How do you like your geology class?
It's an interesting subject, and tomorrow we're going out into the field to look for fossils. That should be fun.
Number 8.
Want to go see a movie?
I don't know. What's playing?
Number 9.
Good afternoon, Blue Dolphin Restaurant.
Yes, this is Mr. Adams. I'd like reservations for 8 Friday evening.
Fine, Mr. Adams. How many will there be in your party?
Number 10.
When is your composition class?
Next period.
Exercise 3.3. Number 1.
I'm ready to hand in my research paper.
Better check your writing first, Scott.
What does the woman suggest Scott do? Number 2.
How did you do on the history exam?
Well, I passed anyway.
What are they discussing? Number 3.
Did you see the buffaloes in the wildlife park?
Yeah, and you know what? It was the first herd of buffaloes I'd ever seen.
What does the man mean? Number 4.
Which line do I get in if I've already pre-registered?
Read the sign, why don't you?
What does the woman tell the man to do? Number 5.
I can't decide whether to buy one suit or two.
Just think about it for a second.
What does the woman suggest the man do? Number 6. All right, Henry, you can just bring your suitcases upstairs now.
But I can't handle them all by myself.
What does Henry say about the suitcases?
Number 7.
Your hair is soaked, John. What happened?
Oh, I was caught out in a sudden shower.
What does John mean? Number 8.
Patrick, what did your classmates think when you won the award?
Well, it certainly didn't hurt my standing with them.
What does Patrick mean? Number 9.
I hear your sister got a new job.
Yeah, she's now a loan officer at a bank.
What does the man say about his sister? Number 10.
Is that seminar you were always complaining about finally over?
Yeah, but you know, now that it's over, I miss going to it.
What does the woman mean? Number 11.
So where is this park where we're going to have the picnic?
It's on East Vine Street, across from the city zoo.
What does the woman tell the man? Number 12.
Why don't you use that payphone over there?
Okay, but, do you have any change?
What does the man ask the woman? Exercise 4.1. Number 1.
So, Rita, you left work early yesterday.
Yeah, and did I ever get in hot water for that?
What does the woman mean? Number 2.
Where did you see Caroline?
I bumped into her at the coffee shop.
What does the man mean? Number 3.
Did you talk to Chuck at the party?
I sure did, and we hit it off right away.
What does the man mean? Number 4. How was the test?
Piece of cake.
What does the woman mean? Number 5.
Robert, are you ready to leave?
At the drop of a hat.
What does Robert imply? Number 6.
Sit down, will you, and relax.
I'm sorry. I can't help it. I always pace when I'm on edge.
What does the man tell the woman? Number 7.
Julie wasn't at band practice today.
Oh, she's been under the weather lately.
What does the man imply about Julie? Number 8.
There's Albert and his grandfather.
Wow, Albert really takes after him, doesn't he?
What does the man say about Albert? Number 9.
Did you hear? Professor Holmes is going to quit teaching.
Not for good, I hope.
What does the man say about Professor Holmes? Number 10.
That box looks heavy, Paula.
It's heavy, all right. Could you please give me a hand with it?
What does Paula ask the man to do? Number 11.
You live near the park?
Just a stone's throw away.
What does the man mean? Number 12.
Have you heard Graham's proposal yet?
Yes, and I don't think much of it.
What does the woman say about Graham's proposal? Exercise 4.2. Set A. Number 1.
Did you know Max is planning to open his own business? He could make a lot of money.
Yeah, I suppose, if it ever gets off the ground.
What does the man mean? Number 2. I've had these old tires on my car now for over 5 years. I wonder how much longer they'll last.
I wouldn't push my luck if I were you, Gary.
What does the woman imply? Number 3.
Well, that was a good program. Want to watch something else?
Not me. I'm ready to turn in.
What will the man do next? Number 4.
Alice, what did you think of that comedian's jokes?
Tell you the truth, A lot of them went over my head.
What does Alice mean? Number 5.
Let's go to the beach tomorrow.
If it clears up before then.
Under what circumstances will the man go to the beach? Number 6.
Your sister's name is Liz?
Well, everyone calls her that. It's short for Elizabeth.
What is learned from this conversation? Number 7.
So your roommate really likes that song.
You kidding? She listens to it for hours on end.
What does the woman say about her roommate and the song? Number 8.
I've heard some good things about that new restaurant on College Avenue. What did you think of it?
I'd call it run-of-the-mill.
What does the man say about the restaurant? Set B. Number 9.
You look hot and tired. How about some ice water?
Just what the doctor ordered.
What does the woman mean? Number 10.
You've been skiing a lot lately, Karen.
It really gets in the blood.
What does Karen mean? Number 11.
Just listen to the sound of the creek and the wind in the trees.
It's like music to my ears.
What does the woman mean? Number 12.
Norman thinks we don't study enough.
Look who's talking.
What does the woman imply? Number 13.
Have you ever gone sailing before?
No, but I've watched people sail, and it looks like a breeze.
What does the man mean? Number 14.
Phew, I'm tired. Chopping wood is hard work.
Want me to lend a hand?
What does the woman offer to do? Number 15.
I'm not sure if I can afford to take this trip with you and your friends. Gasoline alone will cost a fortune.
Not if we all chip in.
What does the man mean? Number 16.
Did you see that it was snowing early this morning?
Yeah, and I could hardly believe my eyes. Who ever saw snow here at this time of year?
What does the woman mean? Set C. Number 17.
So I didn't even make an appointment. I just went right into the professor's office and told him why he should choose me as his teaching assistant.
Boy, that took a lot of nerve.
What does the man mean? Number 18.
We still need to paint the kitchen.
I know, but let's call it a day for now.
What does the man mean? Number 19.
You don't need to read from the script?
Oh, no. I've already learned my lines by heart.
What does the woman mean? Number 20.
So, Marina, your parents still don't think you should go to Hawaii this summer.
Oh, they'll come around, I think.
What does Marina think her parents will do? Number 21.
Was there someone on your basketball team last year named Rob Martin?
Rob Martin? The name doesn't ring a bell.
What does the man imply? Number 22.
I thought you were going to buy that shirt.
Well, I was planning to, but I didn't have enough money with me. I forgot to take tax into account.
What does the man mean? Number 23.
How's your research project coming, Arlene?
Slowly but surely, it's getting done.
What does Arlene mean? Number 24.
Were you sorry to see Molly leave?
That goes without saying.
What does the woman mean? Exercise 4.3. Number 1.
Want to go out for coffee?
Maybe later. Right now I'm going to go work out at the gym.
What is the woman going to do next? Number 2.
The party is starting soon. Aren't you ready yet?
I just have to decide on a tie. Do you think this red one goes with my shirt?
What does the man want to know? Number 3.
Do you have notes from Professor Morrison's psychology class Friday? I missed class that day.
Guess we're in the same boat.
What does the woman imply? Number 4.
Is Ron still working as a cook?
Not anymore. He decided he's not cut out for restaurant work.
What can be concluded about Ron? Number 5.
Are you ready for the quiz in Professor Davenport's class today?
A quiz? Today? Are you pulling my leg?
What does the man mean? Number 6.
Brian, did you watch the launch of the space shuttle on television this morning?
No, they had to put it off because of bad weather.
What does Brian mean? Number 7.
You're sure Jennifer was at the lecture?
Oh, she was definitely there. She really stood out in that bright red sweater of hers.
What does the man say about Jennifer? Number 8.
Phil just got a speeding ticket.
That serves him right.
What does the woman say about Phil? Number 9.
I think I'll ask George to help.
Save your breath.
What does the woman imply about George? Number 10.
Do you like that real estate class you're taking, Roy?
By and large, yes.
What does Roy say about his class? Number 11.
Let me guess. You bought Jill a watch for a graduation present.
You're not even warm.
What do we learn from this conversation? Number 12.
I heard Dora was having some trouble at work.
Yes, but as usual, she'll come out of it smelling like a rose.
What does the man say about Dora? Number 13.
Should I get Lucy some candy for her birthday?
Lucy doesn't care for sweets. Why don't you get her a basket of fruit?
What is learned about Lucy? Number 14.
Are you going to take a trip during spring break?
With all the studying I have to do, that's out of the question.
What does the man mean? Number 15.
So Mick is going to go to medical school?
Yes, he's following in his father's footsteps.
What can be learned from this conversation? Number 16.
I told Fred about the money I lost, but he didn't seem very sympathetic.
If it were his money that had been lost, he'd be singing another tune.
What does the man mean? Number 17.
I've just heard Wally's going away party has been canceled.
Oh, no. Has anyone broken the news to Wally yet?
What does the man want to know? Number 18.
Did you take a lot of photographs when you went to the Grand Canyon?
Yes, but not all of them turned out well.
What does the man mean? Number 19.
I just heard Linda and Rob are going to open a photography studio. I think they'll do very well.
Well, with his talent as a photographer and hers for business, they're bound to be successful.
What is the woman's opinion of Linda and Rob? Number 20.
Can we stay at your parents' cabin at the lake?
Sure, if you don't mind roughing it.
What does the woman mean?